Hi, Leos. How are we doing today? Welcome to Just on Tarot. If you're new here, welcome in. All right. We're going to be doing your weekly from June 29th. I don't know why I want to keep saying July. From June 29th to July 5th. All right. Let's see what's going on. All right. See what we got going on for Leos for this week. We got the kids playing in the pool. So you'll hear the puppies barking. It is what it is. All right, what do we got going on for the beautiful Leos? All right, we have rain. I can't read that. Fluidity with rain and then cleansing with storms. Definitely a watery season. So maybe we're in our emotions. We have water on the bottom, which is about creation. So maybe you're needing to be a little bit more fluid in order to cleanse out some energy that you've been holding on to for a long time. And it allows you to maybe start creating the life that you want. But definitely, I feel like cleansing might be a good thing. And I like the fact that rain is a very cleansing energy. Water is very fluid. And I feel like this is maybe some emotions that you need to release and let go. And definitely cleanse from your system. All right, let's see what tarot has to tell us. We're going to have to work on this lighting because I am getting blinded by the lights. All right. That was coming out really quick. So maybe we've been a little stuck in our ways, especially with that King of Swords. Maybe a little sharp with our tongue and not quite as open with our heart with that Knight of Cups. This could be you dealing with somebody that is coming in, they're slightly abrasive, and maybe they're wanting to come in, apologize, offer something, get something moving forward, but there's something you're kind of having to allow to clear up first. This also could be you, maybe you're a little sharp-witted with your tongue, or maybe a little too disciplined and not really quite open to love, and you need to kind of work through those emotions. We do have the Six of Swords, definitely a lot of mental energy overpowering the emotional energy. What is it, those emotional upheavals that we need to get to a state of peace in order to push forward with that Fool card? Maybe there's some kind of painful ending that we need to deal with. And you're kind of, I feel like, conflicted with that energy. This could be like a change in a job, change in relationship, a loss of something. We have the Emperor with the Empress. So this could be like divine couple set, or you feel like it was divine couple. You feel like it was kind of soulmate energy. So it could be dealing with a person or something that you are aligned with. I feel like with the Emperor and the Empress being there, it's kind of like maybe feeling like you felt like everything was flowing correctly and you were kind of standing your ground with something, and it's time to just kind of allow yourself to go back to flowing with those emotions. I know that probably didn't make sense to anybody, but I do see some kind of transformation. This could be an ending of sort, especially when it comes to people from the past. This could be transforming your life, thinking about the things that could have, should have, would have been with that Six of Cups. I don't know. I need two more. Let's get a full picture. So we got the King of Wands coming out with the Hangman in reverse. So I feel like whatever this is, whatever you're needing to cleanse out of your system, whatever emotions you're allowing yourself to be fluid, because realistically speaking, water is about emotions. All right. How do they flow? How do they move? What is it you're needing to get rid of? What type of energies do you need to release from your body? I feel like this is you. You're being dominant. You're being decisive. You're being very sharp with your tongue. Okay. And not allowing yourself to move towards love. So if this is you coming in for some type of apology, I feel like something needs to transform. Maybe you need to focus more on being passionate about your goals or your life aspects in that matter. And I feel like you're kind of on autopilot with this hangman. You're not willing to look at anything at anybody's view or even the way different things or energies shape different outcomes. And a lot of it has to do with, I feel like you're nurturing only the things you want and you're not allowing anything else in, and the universe is telling you to open that door, put yourself out there and offer something. I know this is kind of a weird read, but I feel like truth and conviction is coming in for whatever that is. What's your advice right now for this? I feel like it's about maybe changing the way you do things. The world talks about cycles, it talks about chapters, and all I keep seeing is like a spiral spinning. Like it's the same thing on repeat. And it's time to break that. And I feel like it's something you're going to have to work through. It might be a group effort. It might be teams. It might be some kind of collaboration. Especially with the bees there. It talks about community. It talks about what you need in your life to shift that. And I feel like that puts you on a whole different path, different trajectory is the word I'm looking for, and then you're able to make some kind of decision and have a little faith that things can change. I don't know what this situation is. This could be love, money, change in job, change in relationship, just a change in outlook on how you look at life. But a lot of it has to be, have you ever really sat down and closed your eyes and really thought about what is the life I want to create for myself? And a lot of it has to do with mental and emotional energy. And once you kind of align that mental and that emotional energy, I feel like you really start to find the passion for it, find the drive, and then find the stability in it. I'm not really going to say abundance in it because I don't really feel like it's a love read. I don't really feel like it's a money read. I feel like it's just a you read. So if you are resonating with this, just know that maybe it's time to sit down. It's time to really, really just focus on what kind of life do I want to create for myself? Nobody else, just you. Okay. And a lot of it has to do with feeling those emotions, with that rain and breaking through the storms. Storms are going to come. Storms are okay. It's definitely a very cleansing energy. Anytime it storms in our area, I love it because I feel like it just cleanses out things. Be very disciplined in the actions and the choices that you want to make. Be open to moving and allowing yourself in those spaces. Watch how it transforms who you are and what you do, and become that king of wands that has that drive and that passion. But a lot of it has to do with how do you perceive it? How do you look at that position? Because you're stuck in an endless cycle. It's just round and round and round we go. And that's something that you're going to have to maybe work through with people that you could trust or people that, can help you in order to allow you to walk away from the emotions that no longer hold you back. All right. That's kind of a weird message. I hope it resonates. For any of you Leos going through a tough time, I wish you all the best, and you guys have a great day. Thanks.